On the island of Palms here. This is lovely. And I want to tell you, we left California just the other night and whipped right across the stuff. Oh, that water. I've never seen so many chasers in my life. What a place. Look at that crowd. Isn't that nice, huh? Beautiful floor life you have, Michael.
Say, I want to thank you for taking me dancing last night here on the beach.
Oh, did you like that? I thought it was very nice, even though it wasn't expensive. I thought it was good.
Oh, Bob, don't talk like that. You make me think I've spent my money foolishly.
Hello, I'm Linda Hope, Bob Hope's daughter. I wish I could be there with you all in person, because these days of commemoration are especially meaningful, as I was here for the 50th anniversary with my dad and my mother. These days bring back so many memories. My memories of World War II are those of a child, a kind of blur, newspaper drives, rationing, victory gardens, lots of word grown-ups, and countless trips to airports, waving hellos and goodbyes to my dad coming home from or going to places we never knew where. I had no idea of the danger he often faced. I asked my mother why Daddy was gone so much, and sometimes I was angry and resentful because I missed the fun of it. She told me, and my younger brother Tony, your daddy has a very special gift of making people laugh. He's sharing that gift with our men and women around the world who are missing their boys and girls and who are fighting to save the world from a bad man. Some of those men may never see their children or their homes again. I always remembered my mother's words. I remembered them in 1995 here in Honolulu, commemorating the 50th anniversary. I especially remembered my dad and how he treasured being here with some of the men and women to whom he brought laughter and memories of home. I remember how touched he was when they would mention some island like Honolulu, Anuitak, Guadalcanal, and remember some event that had endured for more than half a century in their minds and hearts. Sometimes they even brought a little picture where Dad was seen way in the background. These men and women, these heroes, gave to my dad one of the greatest gifts in his life. They cherished their memories of him and the feelings he evoked in them. I wish he was here today to share some of those memories, but I'm privileged to represent him and his foundation, whose mission is to carry on Dad's commitment of bringing hope to those who served. I'd also like to thank Gary Sinise and his foundation for his continuing support for our veterans and first responders. He, like my dad, is inspired by the generosity and love of country shown over generations by our American heroes. Gary helped bring many of the few survivors of that war 80 years ago here today to remember those times. I'm also very honored to introduce some remarks from my good friend, the Honorable Senator Elizabeth Dole, who, like me, wanted to pay tribute to this memorable occasion. Her memories of her late husband, Senator Bob Dole, a distinguished World War II veteran, will further underscore our gratitude for all who served and represent the greatest generation.
80 years ago, the world witnessed both the devastation of war and the triumph of freedom. Today, we gather to honor the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, when the American people, with our freedom-loving allies, turned back tyranny and helped restore peace to the world. My heartfelt thanks to Linda Hope and the Bob and Delores Hope Foundation for making this special occasion possible. As my beloved husband Bob often said, no one did more to lift the spirits of those in uniform than the GI's favorite entertainer, Bob Hope. And Linda has done a remarkable job extending her parents' storied legacy. I'm also deeply grateful to Gary Sinise and his foundation. Few have honored Bob Hope's example with as much humility, heart, and commitment as Gary Sinise. Their work reminds us of the enduring power of hope and unity, values born in the crucible of that great conflict. Perhaps no era in history holds more lessons for the present and the future than World War II. It reminds us of the danger of unchecked tyranny, the heroism of ordinary Americans, and the incredible strength of a nation united behind a common cause. Bob Dole was in his college fraternity house when he heard the news of Pearl Harbor over the radio. Not long after, he joined the wave of young Americans from his hometown and across the country who answered the call to serve. I was very young then, but like so many others, I did what I could, collecting tinfoil, waste paper, and learning to get by with rations, sugar, gasoline, and shoes. Faith, courage, and the power of a unified America carried us through our darkest hours. That unity is why our democracy has endured, and it's what will carry us forward now as we approach 250 years of independence. Preserving that unity beyond politics or partisanship remains the highest calling of every generation. So thank you again for gathering to honor the men and women who defended our nation in World War II. May their courage inspire us to live with greater purpose, to come together with greater resolve, and to forever safeguard the blessings of liberty, the blessings of freedom.
We're extremely grateful to the Bob and Delores Hope Foundation for their support in making today's commemoration possible. And thank you also to Senator Dole for your unwavering support. Following today's ceremony, we encourage you to join us for the grand opening of a new exhibit titled Pathway to Peace, USS Missouri's World War II Experience. This exhibit offers a powerful look into the Mighty Mo's pivotal role in World War II, as well as the lived experiences of the brave sailors who served aboard her. Through immersive displays, personal artifacts, and interactive media, visitors will journey through the defining moments of the ship's wartime service, cultivating in her transformation into a lasting international symbol of peace. We encourage you to check out this extraordinary exhibit, which is located on the ship's second deck. And while you do that, I also encourage you to see the other exhibit, White Light, Black Rain, which commemorates the 80th anniversary of the atomic bombs, which we've done in partnership with Hiroshima Peace Museum, which is also located on the second deck. At the heart of today's ceremony are remarkable individuals who not only witnessed history, they helped to shape it. It is our distinct honor to welcome back 8 living legacies, our World War II veterans and USS Missouri crew members, witnesses to history, who've reunited with their ship this weekend and each other to commemorate this momentous 80th anniversary. These men embody the courage, resilience, and spirit of a generation that faced the unimaginable and stood strong in defense of freedom. Their presence with us today is a profound reminder of the human stories behind the history we honor. Before we introduce each of these men by name, we'd like to share a brief video that captures each of their reflections and memories 8 decades after the end of the war.
I was right outside my office up on the 4th deck, looking almost straight down till we could see the negotiations being carried out, signing of the peace treaty. But we felt very content that the war had come to an end, and there wasn't going to be any more deaths.
Please join me in welcoming Aerograph's mate 3rd class from Bristol, Virginia, Doyle Boothler.
The war ended on the 14th, and we circled out there for 2 weeks before the ship drove into Tokyo Bay. There must have been 5,000 people on that ship. I mean, it was crowded. Everybody on the other ships that could afford, all the officers that could afford it, found their way to the Missouri, and they were all there for the ceremony. Everybody wanted to witness it.
Please join me in welcoming Yeoman Third Class from Lake Providence, Louisiana, Lee Broussard.
The skipper announced it over the speaker, "You're going home. The war is over." When he announced that, it was just great. We went in as boys, and we all came out as men. And we grew up overnight. Just unbelievable they can go to a place like the battleship Missouri and see what we went through and how the greatest generation was.
Please join me in welcoming Gunner's Mate Second Class from Media, Pennsylvania, Edgar Buffman.
We all had faith in what we were doing. It was an enjoyable time. A lot of hollering and yelling and, and just cheering. At the time, you didn't realize what you were watching. It was how eventful it was. And then, it hit you later on that you really was a witness to that.
Please join me in welcoming Seaman First Class from Savannah, Tennessee, Judge Davis.
And I do remember the Japanese delegation and the man who signed for the Empire of Japan. His name was Shigemitsu. He had a wooden leg, and he proceeded to approach MacArthur. And after MacArthur took the signing, he slammed that book shut. He said, "These proceedings are over." And that was the end of the sign.
Please join me in welcoming Seaman First Class from Providence, Rhode Island, John DeLeo.
American and British and French allied, you could walk across Tokyo Bay and get your feet wet. There was just that many ships that were there. And it was a great sense of accomplishment, victory, something that we all wanted to have happen, did happen. And we were part of it. It was great.
Please join me in welcoming Electricians Mate Second Class from Saratoga Springs, New York, Robert Kennedy.
Very few people have had in their lifetime. I grew up quickly. I was only 17. He had a good crew. They just come and said, all clear, and we went upstairs 3 decks above. And I tell you, honestly, I didn't know when that war was over until I knew I was in Tokyo Bay.
Please join me in welcoming Seaman Second Class from Niskayuna, New York, Thomas Schonecker.
The Japanese that came aboard our ship, we have side boys that stand at the railing and they salute everyone that's coming aboard. And since I was one of the side boys, I was right there where we're signing the document for the surrender to Japan. Knowing that this was the end of the war, No more fighting. We'll be going home pretty soon.
Please join me in welcoming Fire Control Second Class from Chagrin Falls, Ohio, Robert Somrat. Amazingly, we're honored to also welcome additional World War II veterans with us today. Heroes who served bravely in the air, on the ground, and across the seas. In recognition of their service and sacrifice, I'll call each by name. Veterans, if you're able, please stand when your name is called, and please remain standing. Command Sergeant Major Retired Delmar Beard from Glendale, Arizona. Sergeant Andrew Bostino from Parkland, Florida. Sergeant Charles Albert John Brown from Newark, Texas. Pharmacist Mate, Second Class Charles Cran from San Clemente, California. Staff Sergeant Joe Etheridge of Inglewood, California. Staff Sergeant John Gleason from Honolulu, Hawaii. Corporal Harry Hammer from Aliso Viejo, California. Sergeant Lester Schrank from Bloomington, Minnesota. Storekeeper Leon Silverman from Torrance, California. Seaman Second Class Jack Stowe from Denton, Texas. Master Sergeant Wilbur Coda, member of Military Intelligence Service from Honolulu, Hawaii. Yeoman Third Class James Tucker from Huntington Beach, California. And not least, our Yeoman Second Class and Junior Officer Patrick Zaliakis from Playa del Rey, California. Ladies and gentlemen, we're truly in the presence of living legacy, with an incredible memory who has all of you here today. Thank you. Even at my age, getting up and getting down can be hard sometimes. We'd also like to offer a special acknowledgement and heartfelt welcome to Susumu Shigemitsu and Shizoko Shigemitsu, the grandson and daughter-in-law of Mamoru Shigemitsu, Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who signed the instrument of surrender on behalf of the government of Japan right here on the decks of the USS Missouri. Please stand and be recognized. Kusanretsu makoto ni arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for being with us today. Your presence is a powerful symbol of reconciliation, remembrance, and shared history. We're also honored to have many other dignitaries joining us today this morning. I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize at this time. Please hold your applause until all the parties have been mentioned. I'd first like to acknowledge our elected officials in attendance this morning. Lieutenant Governor of the State of Hawaii, the Honorable Sylvia Luke, representing Senator Mazie Hirono, Captain Greg O'Brien of the United States Coast Guard retired, Representative Diamond Garcia, Representative Elijah Pirek, and Representative Julie Reyes Odo. Thank you for joining us today. Also in attendance, please welcome our distinguished flag officers who are with us today.